Hello everyone. So welcome to Garry Kasparov and the Blue Matches. Today we are just going to see the final game, and this could be a very sensitive game, as if the Blue could just win the game, then the result could be a draw between Garry Kasparov and Deep Blue, and maybe one more game should be done and added to determine the winner. But okay, let's see. We have knight f3, and Kasparov states to his game plan with white going for more of a strategy battle. Okay, d5, d4, c6, c4. Yes, it's not bd2, and just Barov wants to just avoid any complications. If you just take, I just want to take. I just don't want to play knight c3 and going for just complications that are if a4. Okay, a4 bishop b4 one line. If for example a4 bishop b4, we have just a3 and b5 please. Then if you just take, then c takes b5 is just good for black. So coming back, we have bishop d2, a5 now. a5 will just maybe a to a6. a takes b5, c takes on b5. Then we have this tactic knight takes b5. So let's say after knight takes b5, bishop takes d2, bishop no, queen takes on d2 or knight takes on d2. If a takes b5, then this is rotates a8. So Kasparov just avoided these complications by just playing knight bd2, defending the pawn on c4. Now if black captures, he just simply takes back. Okay, no problem. We have knight f6, e3, c5, and b3. Better move could be c takes on d5, e captures on d5, then b3 now. Okay, what is the difference is after that b3, and now black can actually the blue can capture this. C takes on d4. Oh wait, what? Ah, c takes on d4 is good. He takes on d4, then he plays b6, bishop, we have g3, bishop to e7, just simply developing the pieces, bishop e2, bishop e7 castles, now takes, and as you can see, black has a nice bishop there, okay? So for example, after here, you just completely losing, you go queen b3, queen e2, or just queen to b3 in this kind of position, but knight to c6, you must be careful of this and just hitting your pawn. So maybe just queen to b3 is not a good move. Of knight to c6, yeah. It's playable, but black has this idea to take on d4 and to go knight a5 in this position. So but people didn't understand it deeply and played knight c6 in this position. We have bishop e2, c takes on d4, e captures on d4, bishop to e7, rook c1. And Gary he wanted to complete and somehow outplay the blue by playing rook to c1. Okay, rook to c1, instead of playing bishop to d3, going for the normal lines, and actually which the blue team will somehow getting ready this line for Garry, so they didn't expect rook c1 from Garry, okay? But actually rook c1 is best move, not a bad move at all. Bishop d3 is of course playable there, no problem with this. Putting your bishop on the right diagonal, hitting the current side, no problem with this. But Garry instead played rook c1. We have castles, now bishop to d3, and here comes the first mistake of Big Deep Blue, bishop to d7. What is the usage of this move? Putting your bishop in a jail, in prison, what? The bishop must be rotated like the bishop to b7, controlling the diagonal. So not on d7. What does d7 bishop d7 do? Nothing. Another move that is interesting that Starfish actually recommends to play is d takes c4, b takes on c4, and here you know something like Benko Gambit, Benko. Okay, here is the plan: b5, c captures on b5. Anyway, the best move is c5, but what happens after c captures on b5? We have knight to b4, bishop c4, a6, takes, and a3. Here comes the check, knight to, if you play a3, a3 is not the best move at all. You must just castle. If you play a3 immediately, then run to knight d3, check, and bishop d3. And if you make another mistake, trouble mistake by playing knight to e5, then bishop comes back on a6, controlling this diagonal and asks you how do you want to this castle. For example, but wait, after here, bishop to a6, we have just, if you play this, then it is the best move, but you are just allowing to a jump with knight to d5, and this is a base, roughly base for the knight. Okay, so let's go back. Here, Starfish recommends c5. We have rook to b8, castles, a5, and again continues like this. Okay, so but Diplo didn't go for this idea and played terrible move bishop d7. Uh, Another best move is actually b6. In this position, we have castles, bishop b7, rook d1, rook d8, h3. We have rook to c8, a3, captures on c4, d captures on c4, b captures on c4, bishop d6, h4. We have knight to e7, g3, to d7, knight g5, then knight f5, d5, takes, and queen to h5, h6. This middle tactic knight takes on f7, takes, and moves the rook to c7, rook c7. And the game just continues like this. And this is just draw. So, coming back. But okay, wait. After bishop to d7, As I said, b6, bishop b7 was the best move. We have just castle. And other planless move from the blue. Terrible move. You see how planless engine works? Knight to h5. We have rook to e1. Instead of knight to h5, the best move was this: a5, a3, a4. Not to play a3, just building the b4. We have d chapter on c4, so you must be careful. If you just don't play this, then Kasparov could play here and just winning the game, gaining space. Space advantage is very serious in chess games. Knight is on c4, we have knight a7, rook e1, bishop to b5, bishop b1, rook c8, knight to e3, rook takes queen chapters, knight there, and this is kind of equal position with a straight edge for white. But let's go back. Kasparov didn't play the move. I'm sorry, Diplo didn't play the move a5 there. He played knight h5, rook e1. We have knight to f4, bishop to b1. Best square for the bishop controlling this diagonal. We have bishop d6, g3, knight to g6. A better move here, instead of playing bishop d6, again we have this a5, gaining a space on the queen side and going for a4, and this idea is still playable. After a4 we just go here. If you just take, I just take with knight, and white is having advantage in this game. Okay, but instead of a5, play bishop d6. We have g3 kicking the knight. Knight to g6. A better move could be knight to h3, g3, g to g2, sorry. And coming back on g5, trying to exchange the more pieces as we can. After h4, then we just take knight takes on f3. We go f5. f5 is a crucial move to find, critical move to find. We are just allowing not simply coming to g5, but we are just blocking this diagonal. Okay, so f5 is a nice fight. After f5, if here, then somehow rook to f6, or just going. No, here is not possible because of takes, and let me show you of queen to h5, and black is in serious trouble there. So coming back, but the prevent knight g6 straight away. We have knight to e5, a rush from Garry, which could lead the game into a card game. After all of these struggles, nice moves, knight to e5 was a kind of blunder. He could have tried a3. Now after f6, we have b4, a6, knight to b3, takes. We have bishop to e8, rook coming back to c1, queen d7. The game continues, and we have straight advantage for white, which is winning. Okay, With best play, I believe white can win that position. He went 95 blunder and deep blue instead. Again, he blundered too by playing rook to c8. Could have tried knight c takes on e5, we have d takes on e5, and bishop b4. And what is coming for black is that he's going to take on c4 and activate the bishop in this way. So bishop d7, you played right, but what was the advantage of this move? And at least try to activate this bishop with he captures on c4 and bishop to c6, controlling the diagonal. So the piece activity is most important criteria. Criteria in chess, you must all of the time consider this. We have a3 after a3, as I said, takes states and just rotates, and as I said, bishop to c6. Now let's go back. Instead, the played the treble move rook to c8. Now allowing to take the bishop, we have knight to f3, bishop coming back to b4, we have rook to e3, rook fd8. The blue could have tried bishop coming back to e7, and we want our bishop coming to defend our king bishop to f6, and we have done with this one, and bishop to f6 is more playable and more somehow good and necessary to do. Bishop to f6. So for example, after here, bishop to f6 could be a good move, controlling this, and the king side has more pieces to defend the king there. Okay? So adding defender. But rook after d8 was played. We have h4 from Garry. He could use this fact that I should somehow delay the defender. If trace bishop to f8 is also playable, bishop to e7 playable. So me myself, I go c5, blocking this diagonal from coming back. So one of the defenders of the king on bishop on b4 is now eliminated. Okay, so but Garry didn't go for this. He went h4, c5 could be another move. After c5 we have bishop to a5. Now a3 completely closing and pushing on the queen side. We have bishop to c7 and b4 here. After the move a6 we have just queen to d3. Now the threat is of course h4 to h5. For example, if you just play passive here, then h4 is just coming h5 next. And what are you going to do about it? So, and there is just trouble for the blue. But Garry didn't go for c5. He played the move h4, as I said. We have knight g7, a trouble move. Again, blocking this bishop from coming back and defend the king. Okay. Another move could be bishop to e7 after queen to d2. You could have tried this, but maybe just to take on c4. Then we have this. For example, if b takes on c4, then here is better way to play. Okay. So after h4, we have knight g7, And here, as Gary mentioned, he just Ross, he just missed the chance for one to, and I will give you a little time to think what is the best move here for white. So pause the video on this thing. I hope you have just found it. It's bishop takes on h7. King checkers, we have knight to g5 check. If King g8 is best move. What happens after King to g6? We have Queen g4, f5. We have this h4, h5 check after King f6, Queen to h4, and this is completely winning. And our threat is nice. And to put in pressure on this pawn, we have rook c2, rook to c2, and just press this pawn. Okay. And actually rook to h8, for example, if you go this, at least it has the front to do the knight g6 is another way to defend. Knight to h7, king f7, takes g4 there. If takes, then g takes f5, takes, then rook g3 comes, and after king to f7, we just, oh sorry, we just win a piece there. So, but what happens after king to g8 is that queen to h5, queen to e8, queen h7 check, king f8. We have this knight to g8, and but another way to defend is knight f5. We have c reference on d5. If you just take, then you just run trouble here. Okay, just make. So you cannot capture on d5 if you just take with the queen, then you're just hanging the f7 pawn. So the best move here is just playing rook to e8, trying to exchange this rook there and losing the piece. Simply at risk losing the piece. But yeah, I missed this idea and just went for knight remove. We have bishop to a5. Again, bishop takes on h7 is just possible. We have b4, bishop to c7. Again, bishop takes on h7 is still possible. Okay, it takes. We have the same plan. After king to g6, here king g6 is best move. King to g8, we have this king to h5. This is just crushing them. Coming back, another best move is b5, and already Starfish recommends give this piece up. Give this piece up. You are in serious trouble, man. Give this piece up, and for example, if you play here, again bishop takes h7 possible. So engine actually recommends b5 and just to take on h7 there. For example, if you go there, then there's again bishop takes on h7 as we mentioned. But Gary goes for simple c5, trying to gain space, and space advantage he has at least to push the blue back. We have rook to e8, and better move could be knight to f5 hitting the rook. We have rook to e2, h5, bishop to c3. Now, as I said, bishop on b2 is not doing any job, so bishop to c3, and we are just planning maybe to just go here and attack the. Also, we are just giving rook b2. Okay, so But knight f5 wasn't played. Rook to e8. We have queen to d3, g6, and now rook to e2. H5 could be a move. F5 trying to cross this diagonal. We have rook c to e1, hitting the pawn, knight to d8, knight d8, defending this pawn. We have bishop c1 now. So, as I said, a plan for activating this bishop is to go rook c to e1 and bishop c1 to activate the bishop. We have just king to g7, knight to e5, and this is just completely crushing after g4. For example, if it goes knight to f6, we have this f3, knight to c6, hitting the rook, we have rook coming back on e2, h6, bishop coming back to g5, and queen to f7. We have takes, queen to d2, and this is completely winning for white. So going back, as I said, Garry went for rook e2. We have knight to f5. A better move could be h5, closing any h pawn push from Garry. We have knight to f5 instead. Bishop to c3 played. A better move, as I said, is h5 now. Black didn't play h5, so now we play h5. So knight to f5, we have if h5, but yeah, instead play bishop c3, trying to activate the bishop. Sorry, he could have played the move rook c3 and try to activate the bishop this way. Instead, we have bishop to c3, h5 now. The blue understood that this is just essential to play h5. We have b5 hitting the knight, gaining space at the same time. Knight c7. We have bishop to d2, king g7, a4 defending the pawn. So the queen is somehow released and free to go for the attack. Rook a8, travel move by pawnless deep blue. Better move could be a6, trying to exchange the pawns on the queen side. We have queen b3, a takes b5, a takes b5, rook a8, and the game could continue. Instead, it went rook to a8. We have a5 gain space, and the pawn is just queen to b3, and someone to b6 to just trap the bishop on c7. For example, this just seems to just trap it. But rook a8, a5, as I said, deep root now allowed Kasparov to simply a6, b6. You could have tried rook ac8. We have bishop to c2, queen to d8, rook to a8, rook to a1. We have b6, queen to c3, knight coming back on g8, rook to e1, and just takes, piece of exchanges, bishop takes e5, rook takes e5, and this is completely winning for white, because this is the weakness, this is the weakness, and in endgame, white is completely winning this position. with slight thickness on the king side for black. Uh, Going back, he played a6, we have b6, bishop to b8. Now this bishop is kind of trapped, rook trapped. Bishop has nowhere to go. All of them are just defended. And we have bishop to c2, knight to c6 from the blue, bishop to a4, pinning the knight. Now this piece is also pinned. We have rook to e7, bishop to c3, knight to e5, a tactical shot by a line tactical shot again Carl. The point is, if you just take, I just take your bishop, and that actually happened in the game. You could have played f6 and trying to someone close the position, but white can find a way to just open the position up because with this rook and with this bishop playing and defending this position is extremely hard. But let's go back. After this, he played knight to e5. We have d captures the knight, queen captures the bishop, and Garry has a deep understanding of how to trade, how men can trade the pieces. He saw that this knight is so active, and the knight on f3 doesn't have any useful control over the board, so he tried to can exchange the knight with your knight. So let's exchange your knights, right? Knight to d4, knight takes on d4, queen takes on d4. Also offering queen exchange. Deep comes back to move, but it is completely lost. If you just take, then I just take back, and I have this pawn push to c6, and this is completely winning. For example, after here, just to push, it's completely winning. Or just root from here, coming to c8. The rook comes back to d7. We have bishop d2 controlling this diagonal. Garry wants to infiltrate right bishop to g5 and bishop to f6. We have rook to e8, bishop g5 played by Garry. Rook to c8, bishop to f6, king h7. We have now the pawn push c6. And if the rook captured with this pawn, then rook comes e2. And if you play this, then I just capture. If you capture, then I have queen to c5. And notice that this bishop is completely trapped. Bishop on after defending this, and no counterplay, no attack. So deep rook captures with pawn b-captures on c6. We have queen to c5, king h6, rook b2, queen b7, rook b4, and now g4 is just coming. And in this position, the blue and its team decided to resign as the move g4 is coming, takes, queen infiltrates this way, then this completely lost position after h5 next. For example, if you play here, then I have this. If you just take, I'm so happy I just take. I'm just infiltrating got this. So in this position, the pro decided to resign, and this is the end of this series of video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and comment the video. Please also subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Goodbye for now.